Welcome to yet another episode of Mr. Vamos Dissects. As usual, we come back with a guest, we come back with what's trending, we come back with what's moving in the world of football. Well, today the assignment is very simple. Africa Cup of Nations, the final 8 teams that are remaining. The real question is, who in the last 8 is going to do the wonders? Who in the last 8 is going to push until the finals? Who is going to lift the trophy? Well, in this episode, we're definitely going to look into what do these teams hold over the other teams? Who are the best players in the tournament? And yet, interestingly, in this episode, we're going to have a segment in the show where we have predictions from different people. Very many people have been sending in videos about what they think about the tournament. So it's just a way of engaging most of our viewers. So aside from that, I'd like to thank you guys for watching the last video. I can reliably inform you that most of the predictions that we made the other time were pretty off because, well, this tournament is not a tournament where you're probably going to look into something and then it comes through. But, well, we'll not let our guard down. Well, we have 8 teams, like I said. We have a Senegal inside there. We have an Angola. We have a Cape Verde, South Africa, Mali, Ivory Coast, Democratic Republic of Congo, and finally we have Guinea. The first game of the day, which is most definitely happening today, that will be Nigeria is taking on Angola. Well, Nigeria has been having, I think, one of the meanest defenses in the AFCON. They've managed to concede only 1 goal. When you check the statistics for Angola, they've actually conceded 3 goals. In regards to who has more firepower, I think Nigeria takes that for me. Nigeria has everyone in regards to scoring goals. They have a Moses Simon, Victor Osimhen, they have Alexi Iwobi, they have a Kelechi Iheanacho who has not yet played any game. They have an Ademola Lookman. They basically have everyone. Something that's important for you guys to note is that the defensive partnership of Calvin Bassey and William Trostikong has actually been very solid. So for very many people that have not been rating Nigeria in this tournament, I think you should keep your eyes locked onto those two because I think they've actually been compact at the back. Well, interesting to note that this Nigerian side they actually had to run a few doping tests on some of their players because actually the work they put in their last game when they were qualifying was really crazy. Well, when you check how they outran Cameroon, they made Cameroon look very funny inside there. It was something that was very funny to look into. Well, like I said, Victor Osimhen for me had a very stellar performance against Cameroon. I've not seen Victor Osimhen deliver the goods the way he delivered them that day. Well, he was running left and right. He actually was able to bully all the defenders that Cameroon brought through. So I'm thinking Victor Osimhen might actually take in this one because I think the performance that he put out was one to watch out for. Ademola Lookman carried his country on his head against Cameroon. I'm thinking the best is yet to come from him. Well, when it comes to Angola, well, Angola has, I'd call him the top scorer of the AFCON right now. That's Dala. Dala has actually scored 4 goals this tournament. When you come to the guy that I like the most, Mabululu has 3 goals. So it's actually the golden boot race is actually between the two. And now if you've been watching Angola games properly, they've been coming through as an underdog in most of the games, and they've actually been delivering the goods. So Angola taking on Nigeria. The last time they versed each other, Angola took the lead in 2018, and then Nigeria went on to equalize and then finally score a goal in extra time. If you were up to me and I'm looking for someone that's going to win this game, I think it's going to be a tricky one because Nigeria now is looking into bringing the trophy because if they came against a hot side like Cameroon, it might be, I'm thinking they're looking at Angola as a side that might be an easy one to take on. So if you were up to me and I'm looking into this game, I'm thinking I'm going to go for a Nigeria win this time. I didn't give Nigeria a win last time because I didn't think they had what it took for me to go on and win a game, but I would give Nigeria a win this time because I'm thinking if you are to look into their side as well, I forgot to mention Anola Aina that's playing as an attacking midfielder, I would say from the left. They've actually been racking up a lot of nice passes and everything. So I'm going to give you guys a Nigeria win. When we get into Democratic Republic of Congo, is playing Guinea. Well, Congo is a neighboring country to Uganda for starters, and very many of us didn't really expect Congo to go this far. But, well, they've shocked very many of us. Very many of you are relating to Congo because they have the former Ugandan manager, Desabre, And then there's been a lot of buzz on the internet about maybe Uganda didn't hold on to him a lot. Well, as you guys know very well, that Desabre is a very conservative manager. He doesn't really like to attack and that, but he actually knows how to bring the result home. And now, interesting to know, the Vesta Guinea side. Well, Guinea has been gradually picking in results in this tournament. They don't really score very many goals, but I think they've been having luck that has been riding with them, and they've actually been bringing in the result at the end of the day. So I'm thinking, well, the last time at Congo, I think they had a revelation of Elia. I think it's called Meshak Elia. He plays this trade in Young Boys. I think if you were up to me, and I'm thinking, well, who are the guys that are going to come clutch for that Congo side? I'd probably put my money on him, because I think the last game out he showed that when Cedric Bakambu is sleeping, well, he's going to be a spark. His partnership with Johan Wissa, the Brentford chap, was actually a good one to watch. And of course, they have a lot of experience in the back. They have an Mbemba that plays for Marseille. Well, if you're looking for a defender in a tournament that actually knows how to deliver the goods and be solid at the back, that would be someone for you. And then of course they have Masuaku. Very many of you remember him from West Ham. He's actually a nice number 3 to have in a side, maybe a side that really wants to play from the back. And so I'm thinking, well, like I said, the AFCON has very many underdogs. They face a Guinea side. Guinea side is actually riding on the charms of Mohamed Bayo. Very many of you know that Mohamed Bayo I think he plays his trade in Europe as well. Last I checked, he was playing for, I think he plays with Andre Ayew in Le Havre. I think it's called Le Havre. It's in France. He's on loan from Lille. Well, he has actually scored 2 goals for them, and he has carried them 2 times. He has actually scored two goals in their 1-0 wins in the past games. And well, they'll be looking out to him for inspiration, because very many of us know that the Saidou Keita that we've been looking at in Guinea is not actually having a run of games. So they probably bring him on to like steady the ship and steady the midfield and all that. But if it were up to me, and I'm looking into a team that wants to cause an upset in this fixture, I want to give this game to Congo, because I think Congo now knows that they're carrying the pride of East Africa. And I think Desabre also has a point to prove, because Desabre went to Pyramids. He went to Pyramids, he was sacked, he lost his job. He lost his job because Pyramids wasn't performing the way it was, and yet they had a lot of Arab money. And I think this is a time for him to like answer his critics and actually make a name for himself. You never know, he might get another job from there. So I'll give you guys a Congo win inside there, because I think they really want this game more. Well, if we're to check into the AFCON on tomorrow, Saturday, we have Mali taking on Ivory Coast. Well, I think this is going to be the hottest game in the last 8, because I think, honestly speaking, to me, Mali has been playing the most beautiful football in the AFCON. They've been very composed. They've been composed in the defense. They've been composed in the midfield. They've been composed in the strike. They face an Ivory Coast side that I think Ivory Coast would maybe say that the clock has been ticking for them. A host nation that actually had to go into calculations and prayers to get into the round of last 16, and somewhat they managed to get a result against the Teranga Lions, who we all expected to win the tournament. Is not something that you should sit on. Well, if I were to start from Mali's point of view, Mali actually has the second top scorer of the AFCON right now. That's Lasmin Sinayoko. Well, very many of you, if you're to check, most of these guys that are playing AFCON are actually playing that trade in France. Now, Sinayoko actually plays for a second tier. It's called Auxerre in France. Well, he's been carrying his team a lot. Well, if you guys are to check the last time out that they played, he actually made a name for himself when I think they had a very beautiful passage of play, and he managed to beat a few defenders inside there to score the goal that actually brought Mali to where they are. In regards to the other players that are playing for Mali as well, they have Adama Traore. This is a starlet that plays his trade in Hull City. These are people that have been running riot in the midfield for Mali, and they've been putting in a lot of composure inside there. They also have a Doumbia that plays his trade in, I think, is it Brest? That's in France. Well, these are, I think, behind Sinayoko, these are 2 boys that have been trying to solidify the midfield, and they've been maybe trying to work the magic in the middle. So just like I said, if you find a Mali side that is even benching Yves Bissouma, if very many of you remember the famous video before the AFCON, where Bissouma actually managed to dribble very many players in the box and lay off a pass to somebody. If you're benching a player with such quality, it shows you that the other players in Mali actually have a lot of pedigree inside there. Well, if I'm to get to Ivory Coast, I'm really impressed about Ivory Coast. I didn't really give them a win last time out because I didn't think they deserved to pick a win, but then the interim manager he actually did well in the game against Senegal. If you have to me and I was studying tactics and seeing how the guy handled the game, if you're to check the Ivory Coast game, he started with a Fofana in the middle. Fofana is actually a dynamite. He's going to run left, right, and center. There's a famous video that was running around where he managed to beat 3 Senegal players with a few tricks here and there. And then the main inspiration that he actually had, he was able to bring in a Seri. If you guys remember, Seri used to play his trade with Fulham. I think he's also now playing for Hull City in the Championship. Well, an important mention for me for Seri was because he was actually the man of the match against Senegal. The best thing that he was doing in the game was pinging passes. He was dictating the play from the middle. And then I think also the return of Sebastian Halle from injury was a very big thing for the Ivory Coast side. If you guys watched that game, you saw that the fans were actually, it's when Sebastian Halle actually was announced to be coming into the pitch, there was a lot of applause for him because it changed the dynamics of how the Ivory Coast side was playing. They were playing with the focal point as a number 9. And now, of course, I'm thinking even bringing Frank Kessie, because I think Fofana ran his lungs out and they brought Frank Kessie, I think it steadied the ship. Because I'm thinking if you probably get a midfield partnership of Fofana, Seri, and Frank Kessie, I don't really see anyone getting past midfield diamond of those 3 people. But then I'm thinking Ivory Coast for me looks like it's going to edge this game. In fact, it doesn't look like. If you're up to me and I was giving you a result for this one, I'd give it to Ivory Coast because I think right now their eyes are focused on the prize, and because they are the host nation, I think they're now feeling it inside them, because I saw an interview between Solomon Kalou and Frank Kessie, and he was like, you're actually putting on my shirt number 8, and I'd like that to inspire you to go on and win the tournament. And interesting for you guys to notice that aside from scoring the winning penalty against Senegal, Frank Kessie must be the best penalty taker in Europe and all the sides of maybe the footballing spheres. So that's something that you guys should look out for. And then the last game of the last 8 will be Cape Verde is taking on South Africa. Well, these are 2 underdogs that none of us saw coming. Well, if I was to start from Cape Verde, last time out, I really expected Cape Verde to win, and they actually delivered the goods. Well, Cape Verde, if I was to get into the players that they have and the players that are going to help them in this tournament, if you're to check out their captain, the one that actually scored the decisive penalty the last time out, Ryan Mendes, I think if you're to check the stats, whenever Ryan Mendes has scored, they have not lost a game. He's actually scored in every game that he has scored, they've actually won 13 and drawn 1. That is something that they probably draw inspiration from. And now in the last game out, they had a Bebe that they fielded, and he didn't really tick. You know, I've been watching the tournament, and Bebe is actually their long-range shooter. He's taking on free kicks from near the center and all that. He didn't really tick inside there. And then I think they also have a young striker inside there. I think he's called Benchimo. He's actually a young man. He puts on their shirt, I think number 9. He was actually brought on to he's actually the one that delivered the penalty because he was taken out and they won that game. So I think they're pretty impressive side. They actually know what it means to play in a tournament recently based on their performances. And I think they really have that desire to win a tournament, and they've actually been playing beautiful football. So I think when these 3 players combine with each other, I'm yet to see how the coach is going to line them up. If they combine well, they will actually disturb a South Africa side. When I get into South Africa, well, South Africa is actually, well, you know, most of us watch our analysis from SuperSport, and everyone from SuperSport is from South Africa. I watched the analysis that they had before the game against Morocco, and everyone gave South Africa a win. And then it was very personal for them against Morocco. And they actually delivered the goods against Morocco. They caught Morocco napping. Morocco went on to miss a penalty, and they actually punished them. If you're to check the chemistry of this South African side, they have at least 6 players that play for Mameloid Sundowns. Mameloid Sundowns is the king of South Africa. They have, I think you guys basically know, they have a Dennis Onyango inside there. And then they have a few players from Orlando Pirates and the likes. Well, if it were up to me, in all the teams that have team chemistry in this tournament, South Africa has the greatest team chemistry, because if they're playing their trade in the same club and then they come to a tournament that they do the same, then it's actually something that you guys should watch out for. So I'm thinking South Africa will still be relying on the work of Tembo Zwane. He actually put in the assist for evidence. His name actually disturbs me. The first goal that they scored against Morocco. So Tembo Zwane is going to be a workhorse inside the middle there. He's going to be everywhere. He's going to put in the work. And then Pasita, of course, he's going to be running the whole game. He's not going to let his guard down. And then for Mokowena, that actually scored the free kick that won their game, I think, well, for Mokowena, he's going to be those players that he might not really show his presence during the game, but he's going to be a player that is going to come through at the end and actually deliver. Because if you guys saw, it's not very easy for someone to score a free kick against Yasimbono, but Mokowena actually did that. So if it were up to me and I was getting a prediction for you guys in this game, I think South Africa edges this one for me, because I think because of the team chemistry that they have, it's going to be very important for them to play a Cape Verde side that has very many people that come from Portugal, from Europe and all those clubs. So just like I said, if I was to give you a summary of the results of the fixtures I've given you, I'm going to give you a Nigeria win, a Congo win, an Ivory Coast win, and a South Africa win. Well, you guys shouldn't. Just like I said, you guys need to watch these quarterfinals very carefully, because man, there's a lot of pressure that has been arisen from the matches. We've been having very many of our people moving out. Like I said, there was a Morocco and we were kicked out. It's been a crazy week. So I'd like you guys to just enjoy this tournament, because if you blink on this tournament, like I said, you blink, you're out. Well, I think that's all I'll give you guys for these ones. I just implore you guys to watch the game. And just like I promised in the show, we have a number of people that want to give us their predictions about how the games are going. I think you guys will check those ones out. It will be the last segment of the show. Aside from that, I'd like to thank you guys for subscribing. I'd like to thank you guys for liking, for sharing. And well, let's enjoy the AFCON. Vamos, checking out.
Awangula tusula mungato tukabe mungembuzi wezikaba.
Hi guys, I'm called Daphne Asimwe Taewa. Yeah, I'm here to talk about AFCON, and I'm rooting for South Africa to go all the way to the finals. I don't know how about you, but me, I think basing on their last games, they know how to bring the results, and coming into this tournament as the underdogs, honestly, it has boosted their confidence. So personally, I'm rooting for South Africa. Yeah.
Yes, AFCON 2024. It has been an amazing tournament, because big teams betwattu to be our favorites bavu them. So quarter final stage kwetwasigadde nze nja kubacking Ivory Coast to win this tournament, because eina abawagizi sinsi be bategesi ate n'abawagizi batandise obakkiririzaamu okusinziira ku ngeri gye bazanyemu ku mupiira gwa Ivory Coast. So key points zenyinza okugamba why I'm backing Ivory Coast y'enkyukakyuka ez'omutendesi, aliwo oba interim manager, aliwo saawa eno twalabye enjawulo gye yataddewo ne ba star players batandise okwekkiririzaamu n'olaba nga bataddewo enkyukakyuka ey'amaanyi. So from all this, Ivory Coast yali ekiwanguddeko, so still erina ability ewangula ekikopo kino ate nga erina waka.
Yo, Mr. Vamos, what's up? Emo Mukesia. I'm rooting for Mali to take this one because I was so much impressed by their ability to pass that ball from their box to the opponent's box, and they're able to, that TikTok will be able to bring down those defenses, and I'm very sure Mali is going to take this one. Big ups, bro.
What's up? Joseph, aka known as Segra. Well, AFCON, AFCON resumes today, and I'm backing South Africa. It's a quite a rough choice for me, but I'm picking South Africa because they've shown a lot of resilience. They lost their first game. They came back to win a 4-1 over Namibia, made Tunisia draw, and now they knocked out Morocco. And back in those games, they really have a good choice of players. Zwane, they have Pasitao, a lot of players that can bring flair to the team and win. So I'm back in those games.
Mr. Vamos told me to record something for you, small. I'm a villager, as you see. He called me when I was at the islands. I want to discuss my options for AFCON quarterfinals. Nigeria, Angola. I'm a Nigerian, as you see my muscles and what. So I think Nigeria is going to take this, and Nigeria is going to take that trophy. I have some scares, some fears from Ivory Coast, because the team which has been given a second chance. It's not easy to play with, but Nigerians are very serious. Osman!
Hello, Mr. Vamos. Thank you for the show. Dice is my name, and these are my predictions for the AFCON games over the weekend. Nigeria 2, Angola 1. Yeah, I give it to Nigeria because I think Nigeria has much better players. Then DR Congo 1, Guinea 0. I think DR Congo is feeling confident after knocking out Egypt. So Mali 1, Ivory Coast 2. The hosts. For the hosts, I think they are going all through the way to the finals. And the last one, Cape Verde 1, South Africa 2. I think the confidence for South Africa is sky high after knocking out Morocco. So I'm bending or leaning towards South Africa. And thank you so much. Those are my predictions. Nice time.